Hey guys, WhatAboutAmeobi here. I've decided to make this video because I know the entirety of TGCTours is going to be drooling over the fact that this has been added to the game. We are playing Torrey Pines South, the favorite golf course of TGCTours. I've never heard a single bad thing in TGCTours about Torrey Pines South. My understanding is that people believe it should host the US Open every single year, and actually twice a year would be better. So I had to make this video and give it a play and see what we think. They have it set up for Farmers Insurance, it looks like. So they have it as like it's going to be like the PGA Tour stop that it is. I mean, I've seen this course for, I don't know, however long I've been watching golf, which is 35 years probably at least, if not more. So I was never really, I didn't really think much of it when I saw it. It was kind of a, it's there. Never really thought it was great, never thought it was bad. I think it gets its biggest kind of push from the 2008 US Open because of the broken leg and the playoff and Rocco and all that stuff. So, anyways, let's give her a go here. It looks, so far it looks fairly much realistic. I'm not sure who actually did the design of this. I'm kind of curious about that. But it is an official course, so I'm curious who's the one that actually put virtual pen to virtual paper on it. One thing I do find with RCRs, real course recreations, I think that's what that stands for, they do tend to play fairly easily in this game, because we are able to hit the ball in ways that you can't in real life. So we'll see. Bunker sculpting could be a little better, I think. Yeah, that bunker sculpting's a bit iffy. There's been a couple of the official courses that weren't Next Maker courses that have had some issues with sculpting and other things, and it looks like this might not be an exception to that. Chunkaroo. Oh, we don't like the partial pitch. If you follow me on social media, I may have made a somewhat sarcastic post about Torrey Pines coming out today. Twitter, WhatAboutAmeobi on any platform I'm on. You'll find me. If you want to watch me play golf live, Monday afternoons at 1 Eastern, I pretty much always stream, and then I try to get another one in during the week. It depends on the week, but usually always start at 1 o'clock Eastern, and again, twitch.tv/WhatAboutAmeobi. Not too bad. The cart path doesn't look great over there. I mean, it's a cool backdrop. I think one of the complaints people have about this course is it's on this amazing property, and yet it's a pretty dull course. So a lot more could have been done with it. I think that's kind of how I've understood it, and that's kind of how I feel. There's just a lot of meh holes out here. They've got the greens at 134, so pretty slow. But that's this game, that you can't really put the greens up too fast. Okay, I do remember this hole when you got death down there. The fairways are quite narrow. I think they are in real life. Relatively speaking. That needs to kick left. Perfect. But I mean, yeah, if you're playing this, it's Torrey Pines. Like it's not hard to see this being Torrey Pines. So in that aspect, it's good. It's just not a great course. And, as is typical for me, I would way rather play one of the courses that one of the guys in TGCTours has created. One of their, not real RCR, like courses that don't exist that they've made up and they've created in here. I just find that to be far more enjoyable. Yeah, a little bathtub stuff going on here. Like, I'm just thinking if this had been submitted to TGC Tours for approval, that's something they would be talking about. And I've seen this in a lot of the official courses. There's like no flat spots in the bunkers. And same thing over here. I'm just too busy thinking about that, and then I whiffed the drive. And I don't know how realistic that is in real life. I mean, I'd have to actually go to Torrey Pines, which would require me to get on a plane and a whole bunch of other stuff I don't feel like doing. But it just, the way the ball rolls in the bunkers and kind of, it just doesn't seem quite right to me. Wait, perfect with one out of the bunker? Jeez. Who's this guy? So I understand why they put real courses out. I think for the casual player who wants to play a PGA Tour season, this is what they want. It's not my style. Like, is this tree really in the way in real life? And I'm wondering, this was a par 4 in that US Open. Do they change it to a par 4 for the, like, is it a par 5 that's converted? I'm not sure. And before anybody asks, the reason why they don't have this as the US Open layout, they have it as the PGA Tour layout, is Electronic Arts has the rights for the majors. So 2K actually is not allowed to do it. Or was this the hole that I'm thinking of? Maybe this is the hole I'm thinking of. The hole that Tiger won it on. Just dogleg left. No, maybe not. I thought it was 6. Anyways. Oh. I wonder if that might be a bit far. It's a golf course. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when this would have been a big deal. That, you know, the golf course or golf game that you had added a course that is played all the time on PGA Tour. But now that we have people able to design their own courses, it's just not. Excuse me. It's just not. It's nowhere near as exciting. It's not exciting at all, frankly. Pebble Beach will be interesting, and that'll definitely get some traction. But I've played that course 800 million times in video games, so again, I would rather play somebody else's course that they've made along Monterey Bay Peninsula. Monterey Peninsula, I think is what I meant. It's just RCRs just don't translate well to video games anymore. And maybe never did, but they definitely don't now. No, we'll hammer through it up here, because why not? And we'll put it in the bunker, because, again, why not? Big bounce to get in there. Okay. Yeah, it's just real RCRs just don't work so well in the game, and that's ultimately what it is. It's, you know, it's done relatively well. Again, I think some of the sculpting and some of the finer edges, like this here, I don't know if that's how that is in real life. It kind of has a bit of an the look isn't fantastic in this game. You know, cart path is kind of sloppy. I don't know what to think of what's off the course because I have no idea what is there off the course. Bounce in here. Man, I gotta start doing some math on these shots from bunker and rough because I'm not even close. All right. Okay, I kind of remember this. Ooh. I don't remember that. Ah. Fasted it, and this is gonna go somewhere bad. Yeah. Tough par 3. And even though we can kind of chip, not well enough. Oh well. 13's a hole that I really remember. I'm curious to see what that's like. But there's just a lot of filler holes like this. I'm like, okay. Playing it in real life in competition. Apparently, I mean, the guys seem to like it a lot. PGA Tour guys. So I guess, it's pretty good for that. But just on this, They did put the North out too. The North is not a course that gets a whole lot of coverage because it's the other course. And they only play, in the PGA Tour event, they only play one round at it. So you don't really see much of it, whereas you see the South course a bunch. And I know some of my designer friends have said that the North is actually pretty good. Like, pretty decent at least. It's the better of the two. So, I'd be curious to play that at some point, but to be honest, I'm not going to be going out of my way, I don't think. Okay. So I do remember this tee going over the Barranca. They've done a good job with this Barranca. Okay, it looks pretty decent. It's all OB, okay. This is a hole where Tiger famously made eagle with the pin front, and he made the putt from the back. Made the bomb, and then went eagle to 18 later on. And it's also the hole that has this gigantic slope in front of the green. So they've made it basically not reachable unless you have a hell of a tailwind, which may be the way it is in real life. I'm not sure. Where do I want to hit this? I don't really want to be all... Well, yeah, I guess you're going to be down here. L3 what it is. When in doubt, hammer it. And this is basically where you end up if you come up short of the green. I think it just rolls all the way down here. I think Fig Jam did that in the US Open. I don't know if it was the one Tiger one or the other one. The one that Rahm won. The partial pitch works well if you can do it. I just usually can't do it. Okay. That looked fairly representative of the 13th in real life. So, good. We're starting to get into the holes I remember a bit more because 30 years of watching tournaments here, you kind of remember these holes better. Is this really blind in real life? And then, yeah, the Barranca's here. I mean, they've got the tournament objects. Whoop-de-doo. You need them, I guess. Toss a little wedge in there. The 18th is a memorable hole, too. So when we get there, I'll remember that one. It's the one with the pond in the front left, and yeah. But again, a few kind of filler holes on our way there. The filler hole, so I'm not paying attention, so I slap it into this stuff. The rough is not to be it's not to be messed with, particularly on these longer holes, because you're not going to get there until if you hit it in there. So it's got a bit of that US Open feel to it for that. Thought I was in the rough. Oh, okay. Old-fashioned US Open par there, even though it's not a US Open technically course for this game because they don't have the rights. Doesn't matter. Okay, I do remember this hole. I thought it was angled more though. Yeah. Hang on. I thought the tee was over here. They have us over here. Is this a US Open pin over here? Or tee over here? Or is it one that just gets used occasionally? But I thought I remembered the tee being over here and you go kind of over the branket and then it was kind of angled. It's kind of a boring par 3 from here. It's like long, but it's straight at it. Whereas that tee over to the left, yeah, the angle changes quite a bit. If it's because it's a US Open tee that they don't use for PGA Tour, then okay. But if it's not, then I'm disappointed not to see that there. This is the hole that Fig Jim famously hit it in. Well, he was in a playoff with Linklater, was it? We're going back a ways now. They both hit their drives into the crap on the left. They both hit provisionals. Fig Jam asked the entire world not to look for his ball. Somebody did and found it. So he had to go back to the tee and play again because provisionals are only for lost balls and out of bounds, not for unplayable. And he was none too pleased, as I recall. And I remember laughing. Quite hard. So one cool thing about a course like this is, you know, you can remember stuff like that. Get to show how old I am. It's back when I paid attention more to golf than I do now. I don't really watch it much. Okay, so then this is the famous 18th. So one of these bunkers is where Tiger hit it into in regulation, chopped it out into the rough, and then got up and down. Made that putt. Good to see that FedEx Cup hashtag is out there. I don't know if I'd have been able to play the course without it. So then, yeah, okay. This looks right. Can I get a 3-iron to fly there? And then get up there. So the famous putt, the pin was like there-ish. Tiger's layup was over here somewhere. And yeah, the rest is history. Don't know if this is going to fly enough. Oh boy, it's close. It needs a bounce. That's not the bounce it needed. Okay, it doesn't go in the water, but it doesn't come. It's not far off. Okay, that's Torrey Pines South. As far as recreating the actual course goes, yeah, it's definitely has that Torrey Pines feel to it. It's just Torrey Pines isn't a great course. I mean, and you know, in real life it might be. It just doesn't translate well to the video game. So it'll be a nice addition to career mode, I suppose. But that's about it, I think. And because they can't have it for US Open, that's unfortunate. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, hit like, get the algorithm going. It really helps stand out a lot, and I appreciate those of you guys who do it. you want to see more content like this, hit subscribe. We're going to have more playthroughs of user-created courses. We'll have more competitive rounds from TGC Tours, more news as it comes out. We'll get that all out there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.